I'm deciding to tell you guys a little bit of my forced marriage. I was 17 years old. I will leave a lot of details out. I will give the details that I feel like I can share. At that time, I was 17. It was very traumatizing for me, but it's been 15 years and I feel like I can speak on it. I feel like I can speak on the things that I can, and that will not, make me emotional. I've already asked them a few times if they wanted to hear the story on how me and their dad got together. They always tell me no. So be patient with me on me trying to tell a part of how I became married at a young age and all of that. So I'm 17 and I meet my girl's dad online. At the time, it was just dial up internet, so you'd have to dial in to the internet. And if I could remember correctly, there was a chat room called Asian Avenue, and so that's where I met my girl's dad, was on Asian Avenue or whatever chat room that was called. I don't remember 100%. And we got to talking. We would chat, email, write each other letters and stuff. Talk on the phone a few times. So now I sent him my picture, through the mail. And every time that I asked him to send me one of his pictures, he just never did. We only talked for like 2 to 3 months. So one day he was just like, what are you gonna do if I come and visit you? And I was like, what does that even mean? Let me bring it back a little bit on how I was like at that age. At 17, I was shy, I was gullible, I didn't know how to speak for myself. Like if someone was to talk shit to me, I would just cry. Or if someone was to say something to me or tell me to do this or tell me to do that, I would just do it. Like I don't want to say that I was dumb, but I was dumb. I couldn't imagine myself being that now that I'm older and wiser, I could say. I didn't believe him when he said he was going to come and visit me. I mean, growing up, I think I had an idea of how, like, the Hmong culture, if you go with them, then you have to marry them and all that. Like, I kind of knew a little bit about that, but I didn't know how serious it could get. Then he calls me the next day, and he's like, I'm here. Are you going to come and meet up with me? And I'm like, what do you mean you're here? I'm like, you're lying, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, no. And he was telling me the gas station that was near where I was. I was like, holy crap, he's really here. He's telling the truth. Me and my sister, we go and meet up with them. And again, I didn't know how he looked because he never sent me a photo of himself. So out comes two guys, two short Asian dudes out of the car. And me and my sister, we look at each other and we're like, which one is it? And so we had no idea. Like, I had no idea who the person I've been speaking with was, right? And in my mind at the time, I'm like, I don't want to meet this dude anymore. I mean, just from looking at them, I was just like, I don't want to meet them anymore. But I didn't want to be mean. He came wherever he came from, come all the way to come and visit me. So then we just end up, meeting them up at the coast, at the beach, which was like 5 minutes away. And when we're driving to the coast, I'm still like, who is it? Like, which one is it? So I'm scared as shit. I'm nervous. And, when we meet them at the coast, the one that I've been talking to, comes up to me. And he reaches for my hand. He's like, come on, let's go take a walk on the beach. And I'm like, no, I don't want to. But that was in my head. Like, in my head, I'm like, no, I don't want to go and take a walk with you anymore. I want to go home. I just went with it. So I'm hoping, at the time, if I just go take this walk with him, they leave, I go home, great, right? But no, it didn't happen that way. So we're walking on the beach, and he goes, so are we going to do this? And I'm like, again, I'm dumb. And I'm like, do what? Like, what are you talking about, right? He's not telling me, he's not telling me that. He's just saying, are we, are we gonna do this? Over and over again in my head, I'm like, what the fuck is he talking about? Like, what is he talking about? So then we get back to the car, and his cousin was the driver, and his cousin it was either him or his cousin was like, come on, let's go cruise around the city, and we'll bring you back home. So then I'm like, okay. But then I'm telling myself, I don't want to go. Like, I just don't want to go. And so they made my sister feel like they were going to bring me back, right? So I agreed to going with him to take this cruise, and basically saying, okay, after this cruise, you're going to take me home. Okay, that's fine. Again, dumb. I get into their car and start driving off, but they're not driving on the coast, because there was roads going through the coast, and so you can see the ocean and stuff. No. By the time I knew it, they were on the highway. I'm like, I'm still not speaking up. We were like almost out to where I know that we're going away from the city. So that's all I could think about was getting in trouble, that it's late at night and I'm gonna get in trouble. I'm gonna get beat up because I'm not home, right? That's all I could think about. They wouldn't stop. They just didn't say anything anymore, right? There's no words coming out of their mouth. Now I'm sitting in the back seat with this dude. In my mind, I was like, I need to do something because they're taking me somewhere that I don't know where we're going, right? I don't know how fast they were going on the highway. It was probably 55, 60. So in my mind at the time, I'm like, I have my hands on the handle of the door, right? While the car's going, and but then phải tiếng bộ nói giờ cụ thiết tới cụ giờ cụ thiết tới ít biết cũng mà lộ to giờ cụ thiết tới ít biết lúc phải mua cụ lộ to chứ cụ chỉ to sát to. So then I was like, no, I can't do that. I'm not gonna jump.